So we will start by creating a list. So when creating a list, you can create a list with initial values, which I've indicated here. And so if you want to create a list, let's say my list, then items should be placed in a square bracket. So we can have this one. This is a list. So let's execute this command. So you have my lists and we have one. So this is an initial value. Let's try another one. This one contains one element. Let's say my list. We are using the same name, so we are going to overwrite this one here. So we have my list. Let's say A, J, T, C. This is also a list. Okay, let me just label this as basis. That should be better. This is also a list. So I can just query it to see what I have there. So this is also a list. So this list contains 4 elements. We have AGTC. These are the nucleotides. So this is also a list. Let's continue. Now let's look at something else. Let's continue. So here we created with initial value, which is 1. Here we use this one here. You can also, let's say, sequences. You can have AGTTCC. Let's put this. And then we can also add 1, 2, 3. You can even combine them. So it's a container basically. So you can put in any data type at all. So this is also a list. And since we are dealing with sequences, let me just use sequences here. Let me do this. And then you can execute it. So there is also a list. If you want to look at a data type, you can use this command type and then indicate the objects of interest. So here is a list. Okay, so what we did was to create a list with initial values. We can also do it this way. We can use this. We can create an empty list. It's also possible to do that. So to create an empty list, let's say my empty lists, then it's just the square brackets. This is an empty list. So my empty list, let me just call it, and then this what will happen. It's just an empty list, so there's nothing in there. So this is how we create an empty list.